Welcome to Ever After, Once Upon a Time podcast, Season 3, Episode 16. It's not easy being green, and that really rhymes. In this episode, Zelena challenges Regina to a battle.
I just realized.
And tries to collect another item from her mysterious spell.
Zelena and Regina.
Zelena's lifelong envy is revealed. I'm your host, Molly Southgate, and with me is
Martha Southgate.
And
Rob Southgate.
Sorry.
I just realized.
Rob
and Martha. That
don't
means
rhyme
nothing.
at all.
No.
But I didn't notice Regina and Zelena rhymed until you just said them together, and then I had to
Robin Hood.
Oh, don't tell. That hasn't been revealed until season 4.
Okay, this is one of my favorite episodes, and I'm dying to talk it out loud.
Oh,
so
yeah. This is
we
so
gotta jump
good.
in.
Oh, yeah.
But we need to do the flashback first, because everything that happens in Storybrooke is so
Fantastic.
out of control.
Yes.
Fantastic. Okay.
Well, so this one is the flashback is Selena's story.
Yes.
So,
which is great, but it's not...
Right. What happens in Storybrooke
end
is
with
amazing.
that. No. Yeah.
But it starts with an awesome start.
Yes.
Which is a green twister.
It's a twister.
Yeah, it's a big tornado and it's all green. Of course, you're like, oh my gosh, it's got to be Zelena. And
I thought that it was Dorothy.
you thought it was
tornado.
Dorothy. Well, it could have been.
Yeah.
And I thought that was Aunt Em. I thought they were in the Kansas.
Mm-hmm.
And a tornado is striking, and then all of a sudden Dorothy appeared and they got Dorothy.
I agree. I thought the same thing at first.
But that wasn't it.
But it was Zelena.
And guess what? You know how Emma's looks? It looks exactly like Emma's baby thing.
Her basket.
Except Emma's was a purple ribbon. Hers was green.
Oh, I
Good
never
catch,
noticed
Molly.
that.
I didn't notice that either. So she was found in the woods by this couple. And the father, the man...
He's mean.
Well, no. I defend the father because he was scared of her. She had powers. And
well,
he
as a
saw
baby, a tree branch is falling on him, and she, as a baby, puts her hand up and waves it away. And he's like...
Because she wanted to save him.
That kid's got magic, and
Yes.
she's wicked, he says right away. And the mother's like, oh, no, that just happened. It's like, oh,
Yeah, no.
okay, no. That kid...
Yeah, but still, she was... I'm not in the father's defense, because she knew that tree branch was going to fall, so she stopped it. She put it away from
Which she
them.
did, but he was scared of her magic abilities.
He was scared of her powers.
Right.
And
But you're right, she wasn't doing anything wicked there.
no,
Yeah, she
I'm
was
not
just
saying that
helping.
he was correct in believing that her powers were evil at the time. But what I'm saying is, in that moment, so I pick up this baby and it starts doing magic. I'm not taking that baby home.
We'll
I'm
just
sorry.
call this baby Molly.
Right.
And when she started doing magic...
I tried to leave her out at the tree, and she kept coming back in.
you.
But yeah, in this moment, though, I understood him, and I thought, yeah, I could see why he wouldn't want to get caught up in that.
Right.
But she wanted her, and so he went along with it. But I
Just
did not.
like Ma and Pa Kent when Superman showed up.
But the difference is he
Remember?
wasn't a mean drunk.
No, but she wanted that baby. She
Mhm.
wanted to keep little baby Kal-El. Can we talk Superman for a minute?
No.
Yes.
No. So
The ribbon on his bassinet was red.
it
Go ahead.
goes forward then, and now Zelena's a teenager.
Uh-huh.
And she's shaving him, and she had mentioned that in
Right,
another
she said she had to
episode.
shave him because he was a drunk.
And
And he
he
needed shaves.
Yes.
calls her wicked, and he tells her that you're not my child.
Right,
And-
she didn't know.
And she was just like...
So the
helping.
mom has died or something, and
Yeah,
now
he
he's
said
like,
that. He said
she's gone, so I'm going to tell you, you're not my kid, you're wicked.
Then
And-
he says, wipe away the tears, put on a good face, and go make my breakfast. So I do not defend this man at all.
No, other than
But what I
I'm
was
going to
saying,
tell you right now, wipe those tears away.
you wish I would do that for you.
Go make me breakfast.
Go in there and make me some breakfast.
Make me some pie while you're at it.
Oh, yeah, you should.
But
Make me
I was only
pie.
defending him in the beginning only as a
I get it. I get it.
not for his behavior. So here, I mean, clearly he's a big bad man.
Yes.
And much more wicked than her. She was trying to be kind and nice.
Right, she
much
wasn't
like
bad.
Regina.
Right.
Hello, everybody. We seem
But-
to remember Regina was
But
like
they seem
that.
to have a switch
They have a bend
to go
towards a
evil
certain
very
direction.
quickly.
Yes.
I think
Yes.
that comes from Cora.
They got the defective Cora gene.
Yes, right.
Yeah, Cora also, she was nice, but then, and all of them had bad fathers, except for Regina.
Yep. So
She
in other
loved
words,
her
you're going to turn
father.
into an evil queen because you've got a bad
I
father.
have a good father.
But Regina was
Heck yeah.
was willing to kill her father.
Now go make me some pie.
Even though he was a good man and she loved him, she killed him.
Right. Because she knew she had to make that sacrifice
Because that was
to do
when
everything.
she was an evil queen.
Yep.
Yep.
Saying.
Just saying.
So, Zelina's off to see the wizard.
Ah!
The
Come
one
on.
from
Yes, she
Wizard
is.
of Oz.
Yes.
She even says that. I'm
We
going
thought
off
it
to
was
see the
going to be
Wizard
the
of
Mad
Oz.
Hatter.
Well, yeah, when you saw him through the curtain, it looked like the Mad Hatter because of the hat. But no!
I didn't see it coming. Who
Walsh!
did you
It was
expect it?
Walsh!
Did you ever think
Mm-mm.
maybe it would be Walsh?
And
Never.
then she turned him
Into
into a flying
Into a
monkey.
goon.
Uh-huh.
That was
Oh
awesome.
no, that was Little Bunny Foo Foo.
No.
Oh, yeah, I do that.
No, it's turned him into a flying monkey. Flying monkey. So she goes off to see
The wizard.
the wizard.
The wonderful Wizard of
And he
Oz.
shows
And these effects
her.
were cool. This
Oh, it was
really
awesome.
cool.
But he shows her with Cora when Cora abandoned her.
Right.
And then he shows Regina.
Yes.
And
she starts to get upset.
And she's like,
And
who's
he
that?
says-
Who's that? Who's that?
And he says, Regina gave your mother what she wished for. She became queen, so your mother could be royalty.
Right.
And that's what Zelina was not able to do.
Right.
And then he shows her Rumpelstiltskin.
Yep.
And
how Regina is being trained by Rumpelstiltskin. She's like, it should have been me getting trained.
I want to be trained. You have to send me to him. So he gives her the shoes.
Oh, they
Now
were
this
silver.
now you just read the book.
Uh-huh,
the-
and they were silver.
Right,
in
there's
the
silver in the book.
not in the movie. In the movie, they were ruby slippers.
I don't
Right.
know why. They just...
Because they
didn't-
look better with the ruby slippers.
I think on the screen it was more powerful
Right.
visually.
I
to
mean, they
have them
looked
be
cool
red.
here, but the red ruby slippers in the movie just was really colorful
Striking.
and striking. Yeah.
Because everything was kind of the same.
Everything
Red.
was rather drab.
Right. So yeah, so she gets the silver slippers,
Yeah.
clicks them together, and boom, she's in the Enchanted Forest. In Regina's room, she does exactly what she did when she got into the castle. She's like looking through her clothes, looking through her stuff. Remember, she came out and she was wearing Regina's dress, and she's like, it looks better on me.
Mm-hmm.
She's doing the same stuff.
Yeah, but she
here.
didn't wear the dress. Then.
Well, not here, but she did earlier.
Yeah.
So she's doing that same kind of thing, and then she does a little magic, and Rumpelstiltskin appears behind her, and he's like, oh, you learned that much quicker than I... You're not Regina.
Uh-huh.
Uh-huh.
And he checks to see if she's really Cora's daughter. Now, we thought at this point that it was going to turn out he was Rumpel's daughter because Rumpelstiltskin and Cora seem to have had some type of
Right, I thought for
of
sure
past
that's what it was going to be.
relationship. And she
But
had the
remember
red
when
hair.
she took out the heart and stuff? Cora took out her own heart because she loved Rumpel.
Right,
That's what I'm saying. So if she had had a baby with Rumpelstiltskin, it could have been Zelina.
Could have been
And they have the
Zelina.
red hair and everything.
which is why the magic is so strong in that family.
Mm-hmm.
So he checks her though, kind of does a little DNA test on her,
Right.
And it truly is.
Jerry Springer
Cora's.
comes out,
Yeah,
and he
it was
says...
like Maury.
Maury does it, okay.
So he checks to see if she really is who she says he is, and she is.
Yep.
And so then he starts training her.
Right.
And he says magic isn't about what you do, it's about what you feel inside. And so he blindfolded her
Mm-hmm.
and had her try to
No,
find
magic
him.
isn't about what you see.
Right, it's what you feel.
Right.
Mm.
And so she can't find him, and he says you need to find an angry memory, you
Right,
know,
right.
a sad memory or angry memory, something that's going to rile you up, and then you need to change it out with a happy memory to control it. And she says, "What's your happy memory? Do you remember what his was?"
It was the sorceresses, not sorceresses, I mean the spinners
The spinners, yeah. I couldn't think what they were called.
that were helping him as a little boy that took him in.
Yeah.
They
gave him meat pie.
oh yeah,
Yeah, and he said he got to have
the first bite.
the first bite, and it was like the best memory he had because he
Yeah.
felt special and he felt wanted.
It was the only time he felt like he belonged somewhere and was wanted.
Right.
And so she said that her happy moment was when Rumpelstiltskin agreed to train her.
Right. Which it still could turn out that he's her father.
Yes.
because it was never really
And he's like, oh, and he's all flattered.
put aside. And he did say, like, when he was like, oh, this is more than I bargained for. He didn't say, like, that you're Cora's daughter, and we don't know.
Mm-hmm.
And she was the one that was in love with him, but he didn't make any moves.
No, but he loves.
No, not at this point. He didn't love Belle.
Oh,
he was
no.
bad at this point.
Yeah.
So we have no idea.
But he loved Belle when he was bad also.
Yeah, but I don't
Right.
think at this stage.
At this stage, he wasn't with Belle. He
wasn't as softened.
right. He was just the Dark One, and he was training Regina.
So Zelena tries to make Rumpelstiltskin a feast.
Because otherwise his happy memory would be being with Belle.
Right. Exactly. But that's not it at all.
And she makes him a meat pie.
And he's like, I didn't ask you to, I didn't think you wanted, I didn't give you permission to ask for guests. And she's like, I'm not asking for guests, I made this for you. And he's like, love to eat it, but gotta teach another lesson. And she's like, but we just had one. And he's like, I have to teach Regina.
Yeah.
And she's like, and she gets so mad that she gets a little,
she gets like a rash, but what is it?
it's green.
Yeah, and he says, ooh, your envy's showing.
And your insides are screaming.
Yes.
Oh,
So that's when she starts to turn green with
She's-
envy.
Uh-huh.
she can't stand that he is going to continue to help her, and that he sees something in her, because she
Right.
just wants him to see. She only wants him to be keen on her.
Right, exactly.
To be
quote-
keen on me.
to quote
Correct.
about a boy.
Yes.
So Zelena's about to kill Regina, and she puts the knife to her throat
Uh-huh.
and goes ahead and
Stabs her.
stabs her, and it turns out it was Rumple.
Rumple.
Right, he was disguised as
And then
Regina.
he took it out.
And he takes it out and he's like, well, you failed that test, dearie.
And she's
And
like,
that's,
"Aw."
yeah, and that's when he's like, you know what? I need somebody who is not going to be in love with me.
Well, he won't let her cast his curse.
Right, because it's going to cost whatever
It's gonna
their most
cost
loved
him.
thing.
Yeah.
And her most loved thing is Rumpelstiltskin.
Yes.
It's like, that means basically if the curse is cast, he's going to die.
Right.
So, nope, that's not going to work.
Yep. And she starts to turn really green then. And he says, you may want to get that checked out.
Yeah, Dr. Whale's gonna help her.
I loved that line.
Right. maybe the eighth dwarf, Rashi. He'd know what to do.
Actually, the ninth
He was Swifty
dwarf.
or something, wasn't
He was dwarf was stealthy.
Stealthy, yeah. So
So
the
she-
ninth is Rashi. Okay.
So she goes back to the wizard.
Dermatologisty.
That was funny.
What even is a dermatologist?
It's someone who's skin doctor.
Oh, okay. I was right.
Yeah,
were
you
right.
that was a
That's
butt
why we were
doctor.
laughing. What?
I thought that was a butt doctor.
A butt doctor's a proctologist.
Yeah, why would a butt doctor be helping somebody with skin problems?
No, I didn't know what you guys were talking about. What I was talking about.
Okay, so she goes back to Oz, and she goes back to the wizard, and she sees that it's Walsh, as we already had said,
Yep.
and she says what she really wants is a trained circus animal,
Yes.
and she
And he
turns
looks
him-
over and he sees the flying monkey.
Yes,
poster?
his big circus
Uh-huh.
poster from
Yeah.
when he was in Kansas.
Yeah, but why was there a flying monkey? Did they have flying monkeys there?
No, they probably just
No, it was fake.
created one.
Like they were showing it was like a wild circus thing, and they had magicians and wild animals, and that's all it was. It was fake.
Oh, I bet they just stuck wings on a monkey
Right.
yeah,
and pulled him around so it looked like he was flying.
Yeah,
Could be.
probably.
and so
I'm the
But not her.
behind-the-scenes girl.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but not her.
production,
She turned him into a monkey.
and
A
she
flying
said
Yes.
that when she's done with Regina, she will have never been born.
Yes.
So she's about to change.
So she wants to do the curse, but in a different way. She's
yeah.
going to make it so.
So
it goes
Regina never
way
existed.
back. Yeah.
So interesting. Okay, now we get to the fun stuff.
Oh yeah.
Because what happened in Storybrooke in this episode?
What happened in Storybrooke
We were
stays in Storybrooke.
actually screaming out loud. We had
Yes.
to keep pausing because we were laughing so hard and we were screaming and carrying on.
Yeah, we wanted to hear every line because
It
the writing was so great in this.
fantastic. Okay, sad beginning though. They were at Neil's funeral,
Oh, it was fantastic.
so that was sad. And
Yeah.
when they were throwing
Well,
the
I
dirt,
was wondering why each of them were using a shovel. none of that has ever happened.
In what? In your world?
In my whole entire life,
Well,
I've been to funerals.
You have been to a lot. You were at 9 funerals by the time you were 2 years old. So you've been to a lot of funerals, but we've never been to the cemetery where anyone threw dirt on the casket.
No, we've been when
we
people
put
throw
roses
in.
But we've never done dirt, and that's fine. I think it's something that was just made it more dramatic, because when the dirt hit, you would see Rumpelstiltskin in the cage, and he was making these motions as if the dirt was hitting him.
At my funeral, I want to have an iPad on the casket, and you have to hit like as you go by. That's all it needs.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, no, even better. You could put 5-star reviews, because I always ask for those.
Yeah.
5 stars. 5 stars. And then my real friends would stop and write a little something. He was a great guy. JKLOL.
Oh, it's awful. I don't
just
think so.
terrible.
I guess I'm not planning my own funeral?
No.
Oh,
Mm-mm.
guess who's planning yours?
So
Guess who's planning? Guess who's planning yours?
Yeah, I know. That's scary.
so Zelina is with Rumpelstiltskin at this
It's
moment.
gotta be pink.
While the funeral's going on, and she's just putting salt in his wound.
Right.
And she eventually comes around and just says, was it all worth it? Was any of it worth it? You sacrificed everything for Bay, and for what?
Right.
And he said it was all worth it, every minute of it.
Right.
And I just love that he has sort of had that.
Yep. Absolutely.
That turnaround there. So Emma and Hook are in the diner.
Yes.
And she's throwing darts.
Right.
And he said, "Do you want me to paint a bullseye on the Wicked Witch's back?"
Yeah.
She's like, she's gonna get more than darts.
Yeah.
Well,
Now, when she was throwing them, did they hook to the right? Ah. Yep.
That goes out to Dad.
Thank you.
High five me. I just need to keep cheering you on with that.
no.
Yeah.
So she doesn't know what to do about Henry, and Hook offers to talk to him. And she says, about what? Leather, conditioner, and eyeliner? And he says,
Burn the
well,
hook.
he knew Neil when he was a boy. And he said, I can tell him what he was like. No one considered the fact that Henry's a brilliant kid and went, how did you know him as a boy?
Yeah.
You're the same age as him. Like,
he completely called him out
it was
on
so
it.
funny. It never occurred to any of them that he should not have been able to care for him as a boy. They should have been peers.
Right. What he even says, he goes, yeah, and other people that should be older are knowing him when he's young. Like, it doesn't make sense.
And no one will just tell Henry what's going on.
But how could you? I mean, they don't want the kid to, like, go into a coma. Like, okay, so...
He figured it out the first time.
Yeah, but
survived.
he was one of them. He's not one of them here.
Yeah.
I mean, he is, but
Well, he didn't know he was one of them there.
Yeah, but he had time to kind of wrestle with it and
I
read
know.
the book. And I don't know. Them just all of a sudden like, yeah, we're going to move here from New York because you're part of the fairy tale world and all
Well,
that.
all they had to do was slide the book over to him in that diner and just just go,
Hey, how come these pictures look a lot like you, Mom?
And Hook will just be kind of passing it across the table with his hook.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So
Regina, you'll be sitting there just like, oh, you're the evil queen. No, I'm your mom.
I'm really nice.
I'm nice. I'm your mom.
So Tinkerbell comes up to Regina and says that Robin Hood has the lion tattoo.
Yeah.
And she's like, did you see it? He's here.
Yeah.
And Regina says, I have more important things to do than gossip about boys.
Right.
I was dying. And
and she's so funny when Robin Hood comes up.
She's just all glowy.
He's kind of talking to him. Yeah, she's all
she
glowy.
Just loves him.
And then he like gets her a drink, and she's like, yeah, I don't drink alcohol.
No, she's
no,
it's better. Wait. So first of all, Robin Hood comes up and Regina introduces him.
Yes.
And that part cracked me up because it's
Robin Hood, Tinkerbell, Robin Hood, Tinkerbell,
Yeah.
Tinkerbell, Robin Hood.
It was so funny.
Hilarious.
And then, and you know what? I think he looks a little bit like Graham.
You said that,
She's
and you
clearly
are right.
attracted to that.
But I think she was attracted to Graham because she's
That's
attracted
what I'm saying.
to Robin.
That's my point.
So,
but that I think that
something
once
about
they're,
that scruffy-looking nerfer that's really dragging her in.
but once they find their true love,
Who's scruffy-looking?
You.
they have their true love, and I think that they stick with that
Yes.
type.
Yes.
Although, you know who it didn't work with was David.
What do you
because he picked the long blonde-haired woman who looks nothing like Snow. But that was because of a curse or something, right? Like he was being manipulated.
Well, I still want to know where she is. She and her husband. They've disappeared.
She's really gone. I don't know where she went.
She's in a tree somewhere.
Yeah, throwing nuts and with a door.
With a door. So anyway, I just wanted to point that out.
And
I thought that was kind of funny that he looked a little bit like Graham. So she claimed she had to tell him then why she ran off when they were in the witch's house together.
Uh-huh.
And she says, well, I found a clue trail.
A crouton?
Yeah, a crouton. She said, I found
a futon.
A clue trail.
The futon factory.
And that's why I ran off, but she said it didn't go anywhere. It didn't lead anywhere.
Right.
But there's no way he's buying that. No, none of us are buying that.
Right.
But he then buys her a drink, and she says, I don't daytime drink. And he says, okay, well, some evening then.
Yep.
So
she's not getting off that easy.
In comes Zelina.
I couldn't believe she walked
and
right
now,
in.
She knows everybody knows about her, so she comes in all magic-y, whooshing around and doing her thing and making a show, and
And the craziest is what she does to Regina.
Well,
go ahead.
Hang on. David goes to protect Snow White's belly.
Right.
And so
does Emma.
Yeah, because of course she had been trying to worm her way in.
Right.
As the midwife.
Right.
And so they think, oh my gosh, she's here for this baby. And Zelina says, I'm not here for your baby. Well, not today anyway.
Right.
So, oh my gosh. I mean, it was this is so loaded. And she says, no, I can finally pay a visit to my little sister.
That was the craziest. This is stuff we talked about on the other show. Like, when is this going to come out?
Oh, it's
Didn't
out.
we just say on the last episode that Regina has no idea?
Yeah.
Because...
Well, she sure doesn't.
She was just told, and everybody heard it.
And she says to her, Regina says to her, who the hell are you talking about? And she says, why, you, of course, Regina. And then she tells her, Cora lied to you, and I'm your half-sister, and...
Half-sister?
Yeah, well, because they have different dads.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And she challenges Regina to a duel. And Regina says, this isn't the Wild West. And she says, no.
It's the Wicked West.
Yeah, awesome.
She does not know what she's talking about, because it's the Storybook West.
Exactly. So then that got us thinking about Henry and Emma. And we were going, okay, she's Henry's aunt.
Right.
And
that means now
great aunt.
Zelina is the great aunt to Henry.
She's also Henry's aunt because Regina adopted him.
Right.
So he's her aunt and great aunt at the same
yes.
time. And didn't you say something about what were the other relationships there?
I don't know. If it turns out that Rump is her father, then it gets crazy there too, because we never had a connection where Regina and Rump were connected that way. They were connected because they were the grandparents.
Right.
But now he would be like her
brother-in-law.
No, like her, what would you call it?
No, because it was the mom who would have
the dad once removed or something like that.
Well, he would be.
It's the craziest thing.
It hurts my head.
No, because he wouldn't have. He would still not have any blood connection to.
Oh, true. No
it's
blood
not her
connection.
Dad.
No.
It would be Zelina's dad.
Right, but he's still tied in. He's still tied in.
This hurts my mind.
So Hook ends up taking Henry for the day.
Yes.
And he takes him to a boat. I kept thinking he was going to take him to the Jolly Roger.
I did too, which would have been crazy. I mean, talk about why do you have a giant pirate ship?
All he has to do is say, I work for the Renaissance Fair or something.
You think they have pirate ships?
Wouldn't you?
Like on the weekends, I'm going to go in my pirate ship.
Okay, and
there's a pirate
Hook
weekend.
is the only one in all of Storybrooke who seems locked into his outfit.
He is really locked into that.
Mom is upset because a tiny bit of his chest.
It's not tiny. It's like his whole chest is hanging out.
But he looks like the pirate from the Village People. If there was a pirate, he needs like a Godzilla T-shirt and
he needs to look different.
Jeans.
He needs a change of clothes.
Yeah.
He got rid of the eyeliner.
But they do have to have a scent by this point because he's wearing those leathers
that
all
leather.
the time.
It's not just trapping it all in there.
Oh yeah. Imagine the smell
all
I would
his
make.
sweat and smell.
Oh.
Yep.
You guys are
juices.
Yep. Gross.
So, yeah, okay. So anyway, so he takes Henry for the day, and Henry says, why does my mom
Juices. Gross.
why does my mom keep sending me off with only with people who have a boat?
Right.
And he's like, I don't know. He's like, but I'm the one who asked for you to come this
Right.
time, you know. But anyway, so
no
David
pawning me off.
Yeah, David asked Regina if she's sure she didn't remember her mother telling her anything about a sister, and Regina yells, I think I remember if my mother had a love child with a scarecrow. I screamed
funny.
out loud. That was funny. Okay, so is the scarecrow her?
Well, I think she was just
Selena's
saying that.
dad? Well,
No.
she's got the red hair. She's got the look.
No, I think it's going to be Rump.
It's going to be Rumple, isn't it?
I think it is.
Oh my gosh, then Emma's really related to her.
How?
Because Neil is...
It's
It'd
just
be
crazy.
so crazy.
So, Tinkerbell asks Regina, the group is asking Regina, did you do something?
Right.
Oh my
to
gosh.
this woman?
I just figured out that if Zelina is Rump's kid, then Emma is her,
You're right.
Emma is her
Sister-in-law.
sister-in-law.
What?
Because she was with Bay. Oh, no, she never married Neil.
No,
Right. She never married Neil.
But Bay and Zelina then are half brother and sister.
Right.
And so it would be her, if she had married Neil, it would be her sister-in-law.
Right.
she kind of did marry Neil.
Were they married or did
No,
they
they
just...
never got married.
Hmm.
They never got married.
All right.
Then why did they live in a house together?
Well, that's just, they were criminals.
And then,
That's why.
and then
Criminals live in houses together?
That's
Okay.
how it works.
Can we talk about this scene because it's really good and you guys are interrupting? me.
Okay.
So they're
Wait.
trying to.
They were bandits.
Oh my gosh, banditry.
Dan-
So-
They were arrested for banditry.
They were trying to figure out what the heck Regina did to this woman, and Tinkerbell says, "You did manage to step on a lot of toes back at our land." And Regina says,
but
well,
not,
"Go ahead."
none of them were green.
Right.
None of them were green. Then Granny made a comment, and Regina said, "Stick to the lasagna, lady."
Oh, that was my favorite.
Hilarious.
And then Granny just kind of folded her arms and looked at her like,
She doesn't like her very much.
Yeah.
Regina goes off to find out what that witch thinks I did to her, she says. So,
Right.
So she finds a letter,
Yep.
a letter.
and it proves that Zelina's her sister.
Right.
And Emma and Snow are dying to know what the letter said, and Regina won't tell them.
Right.
And she
You know
doesn't
they're
want
gonna
help,
snoop.
Oh, of course. It's Emma. Emma's going to snoop in 2 seconds.
but she's got it with her.
Doesn't matter. They're going to snoop.
And Belle is going to go try to help Regina through Rumpelstiltskin.
Yes.
So
she goes with. They actually take her to where Rumple is being held.
yes, to the cage.
And she goes in there, and I thought it was interesting how she wouldn't go into the cage. She stood outside of it and reached in, and he's like, "You have to leave. She's controlling me. She's going to do something crazy." And then all of a sudden, boom, she was there.
She's
it was a trap.
standing there.
It was a trap.
That woman is full of trap.
But the reason that it was a trap,
Oh, yeah, she is.
it wasn't to hurt him. It was
That's
so that
like when I said, what's this trap as a baby?
Right.
yes, it was so that she could give them a warning that it's her and Regina in this showdown. Stay out of it, or Rumpelstiltskin's going to kill you all. That was really what it was. That was a really scary moment.
Absolutely.
And poor Rump, you can tell he can't control himself.
Right.
Yeah.
And Regina has left now, and she's got the letter, and she sees Robin
Regina,
Hood.
she's got the letter. Da, 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 da.
I don't get that.
And
I'm
song.
doing the song.
She finds Robin Hood again, because he's always there, and she lets him read the letter.
Love-a-dovey.
She thought they were talking about her all those...
Let me tell you.
Regina had read that letter. She said it encouraged me. It always gave me strength. It made me happy. And she said all this time it was about Zelina.
Oh, right. She thought it was about herself.
And Rumpelstiltskin thinks she's stronger, so there's no way Regina can win this fight.
Right.
And he tries to build her up, and she says, no, you don't understand. Rumpelstiltskin knows me, and he knows her, and if he thinks she's stronger, she's stronger.
Yeah.
And so that's not good. And we don't really know
But
at
he
this
doesn't see
stage.
things clearly. He's got a hood over his eyes. Thank you.
Oh, yeah, high five me.
So
Wait, that
Hook,
high five didn't work.
Hook and Henry are bonding. This scene was very funny.
Yes.
And he gives him the sextant to look up at and he says that he's going to teach him to learn how to navigate just like he taught Neil.
Right.
Bay. And Henry asks, why are you the same age if you took care of him as a boy?
Oh, busted.
And but
Hook handled it
Hook
well.
deflected it, and
But he handled all of this well.
He told Henry that Neil lost his dad too, and that's why he taught him how to sail.
Right.
And
maybe he was maybe then Henry was thinking, oh, you guys knew each other as kids and you guys took care of each other.
Yeah, maybe.
But no, Henry's too smart. So Zelina's dressing for the fight.
Yes, this was
she's
awesome. It was like Rambo. She's getting all set up, and it's showing like she's putting on the shoes, and she's putting on her belt, and she's getting the hat,
the gloves,
just
her
right.
green gloves.
Yeah, it was awesome.
Why didn't she get her green skin?
She didn't. She doesn't do the green skin on purpose.
No.
She does the green.
And they don't
skin.
have those attributes here in Storybrooke. Remember, like Dr. Hopper is a man, but in the Enchanted Forest, he turns back into a cricket.
Yeah, so if she were to go back, she would be green, right?
Right.
Green.
So David is trying to clear the crowd so no one gets hurt, but Zelina comes and stops him. And she says to the one guy,
out of my way, Munchkin. And he says, I'm a dwarf. He is sneezy.
yeah. And she goes, that's even worse.
Yeah.
And she says, if Regina's not here in 5 minutes, I'll let the dark one off his leash.
Oh, that was
Yeah.
so cool.
Oh, man. I feel terrible because he would go crazy and kill everybody, but you
Not on
know
purpose.
that's not what he wants to do.
And then Emma tries to stop her, and he knocks her down. Rumple knocks her down.
Right.
Rumple, no, Zelina did it.
No, she made Rumple do it.
Yeah,
He put his hand up.
I
and
think
he
it was
went
Rumple
like that, and because she was showing them, this is what I'm going to do.
Right.
She doesn't do it herself.
Like
she
she's
makes
got
him do it.
control over
So
him.
he went like this, and Emma went flying
Right.
back. And
He
Regina
better
did
watch
show
that
up.
hand motion when he's talking to people.
Right.
That's right.
Regina did show up.
Like
Nope.
you and talks with his hands.
Or
Yeah.
he does a lot of high fives every time there's a good pun.
And
Throw somebody through a wall.
Regina says to Zelina, didn't anyone ever tell you black is my color? And Zelina says, it looks so much better on me.
I don't like her attitude about that. She's always like, no, this looks better on me. This is better.
Yeah, it's
she's
kind of witchy,
jealous.
isn't it?
Yeah. And Regina says, what the hell did I ever do to you? And Zelina says, isn't it obvious?
You were born.
Yeah.
Can you believe it?
Mm-mm.
How is she supposed to defend against that? She didn't have any control over being born or not.
Yep.
Or what?
Well, she did. She could have held on.
Like I did.
Yep. Like you
Yeah,
did.
you did.
I'm not coming out.
Never.
So Zelina throws Regina into the car,
And
and what does the guy
Doc
say?
says, I think it was Doc. Yeah, that was Doc. He says,
Okay.
my Manchata.
My Miata.
My Miata.
Maybe.
Oh, that was funny.
After what's going on, he worries about his car.
Yeah. And she tried to take Regina's heart. And Regina said, our mother taught me one thing. Never bring your heart to a witch fight. And she said something you'd know if she hadn't abandoned you.
Yeah.
Oh, boy.
That's the Storybrooke way. You bring a wand, I bring my heart. That didn't work.
I don't get it.
That's the Untouchables.
Oh,
See, I was doing Sean Connery there.
well.
Very
wow,
badly.
So badly.
It's the Chicago way.
So the group comes into the watchtower because she's up in the clock tower.
Yeah.
And Zelina had poofed away. And the group comes in and Snow White says, you won? And Regina says, well, don't be so surprised. And then Regina's the one who pointed out she's got your courage, she
Yep.
says to David, and she wants my heart. So what is going to be the brain?
I don't know.
Do you think it's their memories?
No.
or do you
do
think
you
they're going to
think it's
find,
gonna-
like, Little John and his skull's going to be opened up?
Ew.
Could be.
Right.
Well, if she wanted a brain.
Well, I
what do you guys
suppose
give
if
me?
she's ripping our
Yeah,
heart
they're ripping
of
out
somebody.
hearts. What's
So
wrong with you guys?
She gave Robin Hood her heart.
Yes, she did.
And he's protecting it.
Yep.
Ew.
That's a pretty big deal that she trusts him that much.
Yes. 'Cause
She
in the
doesn't
past,
trust anybody.
When she's taken her heart out, she buried it, she hid it places, but she gave it to Robin Hood.
Yeah.
Yep.
She should have blown it off because it got all dirty.
Yeah, they're always dirty, and then they just shove them back in. They'll just they have no regard for
Yeah, well-
sticks and dirt and things.
Yeah.
So
They stick to it, which
Yeah.
is gross. They stick.
Yeah, they could use like some hand sanitizer on it or something. Clean it off.
Oh, yuck.
Just
no,
some
they
water.
just pick it off.
Pick it off.
Run water on it.
Emma,
Then it would be pure white.
well, pink. It's a heart. Red.
Red.
Because
So-
Emma's...
Except for Snow White's heart, which is half black. I wonder if it's better now.
I think it's better.
So Emma picked up Henry from Hook's place at Granny's.
Because it was just a tiny spot. Things seemed to be better. So.
Yeah.
You and Hook tells her you can't just take him back to New York and pretend like none of this is real.
Right.
Because it's just too, like, he's just living a lie then. You're just putting this kid, there's no good is going to come from
Right.
that.
You have to tell him what's going on.
And Zelina put Rumple back in the cage.
Yep.
And he says, what? No meat pie? Like he's just digging in the fact that she was rejected by him.
Yep.
And so he's kind of, he doesn't have a lot of power, but he has that.
Yep.
And
he's still getting his digs in.
And you know what he says?
What?
I'd still choose Regina.
Yeah,
Aw.
dig!
And she said,
Diggity-doo!
she says that he says you're not going to be able to cast this curse. It's not going to work. And she said, oh, I'm not casting a curse. What I'm casting isn't a curse. It's a second chance.
Right.
And that's when we realize that she's going to make sure that Regina's never born.
She's going to go back to the point where Regina's not born, which changes
This is just
everything.
amazing.
Yep.
Mhm.
And the one thing we forgot to mention was when Rumpelstiltskin and back in the flashback part when he and Zelina are talking and he says that he's going to have Regina do the curse.
Yeah.
And she says, "Well, he said, well, you couldn't have done it. I needed to be able to go somewhere where there isn't any magic."
Right.
And she shows him her shoes.
Yeah, she could have done it the whole time.
And she said, I could have taken you anywhere you wanted to go. And she would have been nice. She would have been kind, like, she wasn't evil, as evil at that point. And he chose
but she
Regina,
went evil there.
And then now there's all kinds of issues from that choice.
Well, that's when she was getting greener and angrier.
Yeah.
And
But if he had
And all of a sudden, when she was with Walsh, when she turned him into a monkey, she became fully green.
Yes.
So-
Crazy.
Oh my gosh, I think that is my favorite episode.
Yeah, that was
of
fantastic.
all 3 seasons.
I can't wait to see what's next.
Me too.
Let's wrap this up and we can get to it. Thanks for listening, everybody. You can find all the past episodes of this and all our podcasts, as well as all of our social media links at our website, which is
www.southgatemediagroup.com.
Please send us some
And
emails.
that's Meat Pie Media Group.
Meat Pie Media.
Oh, nice.
You can also send us emails at our email address, which is southgatemediagroup@gmail.com. You can find us on iTunes and Stitcher and TuneIn Radio. Please rate us, review us. You can add comments. Let us know what you think of the show and give us theories and ideas. And boy, it's just all leading into season 4, which starts, well, people listening to this won't know when this is, but you that are listening currently know it's less than a week from now that season 4 starts up and Frozen is coming. That's it. Thank you so much for listening, everybody. Now let's end this the way every great fairy tale ends.
Happily ever after.
The end. If you would like to donate to help pay for this and other Southgate Media Group podcasts, simply go to our website, southgatemediagroup.com, and click on the donate button. It can be as little as $1 or, well, as much as you want. Help keep this fun going by supporting this and our other shows. Thanks again for listening, everyone. You're the best fans in the world.